game of runs tonight, and you got the last one, most crucial time toward the end of the game. Can you describe what the situation was when you were able to put this game on ice toward the end of the game?
That's a good question. I think that you make a very good. You're very good in your not an analogy, but you're correct. It was a game of runs. We stuck with the people that have gotten us here and gotten us 20 wins. That by no means was a pretty basketball game. I was disappointed with the way we've shot the ball for the last 3 weeks, and it continues tonight. We shot very poorly. You look at our 4 and our 5 in Woomey and Orshey, and they're both near a double-double. Woomey 2 rebounds away and Orshey a rebound away, and those are 2 of the ugliest near double-doubles I've ever seen in my life. For us to have success as we go forward, we're going to have to shoot the ball better. We had a 2-week layoff. There is definitely rust from that. We have significant injuries that people don't know about that I can't comment on that does not allow some of our people to practice, and that's evident when we play.
You started to rebound much better in the latter half of the game. We got the periodic updates, and they seem to be dominating the early situation, but at the end of the game, they had 40 rebounds, you had 38 rebounds, and at one point, I think the difference was like 30 to 15.
Yeah, I don't know if it was quite 30-15, but it was bad. And we challenged them at halftime. I got after them pretty strongly at halftime about how poorly we went to the offensive glass. And when you're shooting the ball as poorly as we were, you've at least got to fly to the glass. Now, credit to Mount St. Mary's for the box outs and holding their box outs. But our effort wasn't there boxing. Our effort was not there flying to the glass. As we got into the second half, we saw more of that. I thought our guards did a very good job of going to the glass. It's difficult for Woomey. I will stand up for Woomey in the fact that she's going to be boxed out every single time and be guarded by the best defensive player every time. So she's not always going to come up with rebounds. Her rebounds are always well-earned and hard-earned. They're hard to get. But, rebounding is the way we're going to win basketball games. And, we're not doing two things really well. We're not shooting the ball well, and we're not necessarily rebounding the ball well. And that's been the way it's been for about 5 weeks. And that's a huge concern, and we've tried to address it in many different ways, and I'm still trying to find a solution. And I know our assistant coaches are, and I know our kids are. Our kids want to continue to play, and they're excited about playing. They're excited about going to Ann Arbor. But we've got to find a solution to our lack of rebounding and shooting the ball.
On the positive side, you did have what you've had all year, which is balanced scoring. You had 4 players in double figures tonight. Woomey with 10, Reagan Moore with 13, April Robinson with 12, and Orsi with 10. Orsi coming off the bench like that, you had to be pleased with that, getting her 10 points.
Yeah, Orsi is a kid who a lot of people here know. She's almost like a daughter to me. She's a Hungarian kid. My wife is Hungarian, and she drives me crazy. And many people know that. I love the kid off the floor, but on the floor she drives me nuts. And I don't know if anybody saw in the first half, I almost put her in with the 14-minute mark, and she had a little comment that I didn't even hear, but one of my assistants heard. So we went and sat Orsi back down again. Orsi and I have a love-hate relationship. And I love her when she's 5 for 12 and getting 9 and 10, and I thought she played well after being challenged. A lot of seniors who may not get an opportunity to play at home again and don't get to start might go in a shell and say, screw it, I'm not going to play, or I'm not going to really give a rat's ass. Excuse my French, camera. And don't put that in the newspaper. But
Rat's rear.
There we go, rat's butt, rat's rear end. But she found a way to do a lot of really positive things tonight. I thought something that doesn't show up in the stat sheet is she defended the pick and roll very well. I thought Woomey and her both defended the pick and roll very well. When we had other people in there, we didn't defend that quite as well.
You don't have much time to celebrate this. You've got to go to Ann Arbor on Monday night to play a Big Ten team. So what's the focus? What's the emphasis as you get ready for playing someone from a power conference?
we always celebrate till midnight or drown our sorrows to midnight, and then we move on. So we're going to celebrate till midnight. We're going to enjoy this. Again, this is the 20th win. There's only 21 programs in America that have won that over 6 years. With that being said, they're a BCS conference school. That's great. We've beaten many BCS conference schools. This year has been a little bit of a down year for us in that regard. But our kids know that we've beaten Kansas and Ohio State and West Virginia and Pitt, and we took North Carolina to the buzzer a year or so ago. I think our non-conference schedule has really prepared us to play a team of Michigan's caliber. We've played DePaul and we've played other teams that are in the NCAA tournament. Michigan is very well coached. I've already watched them. They're very well coached. They have very good players. They can make a case for being one of those last 4 teams on the bubble that didn't get in. We're going to have to play a lot better to get a victory and be able to maybe hopefully come back home and get another home game.
A similar line of question to earlier. Last time we were here having a press conference, you had said that your players were blowing a lot of leads. So with the back against the wall and you guys down, what was it that really pushed you guys over the top in that sense?
I think anytime you have April Robinson handling the ball, that really helps you. But what we did is we wanted to continue to attack off of dribble penetration in transition. If we didn't have anything initially, we looked to pull it out and run sets. We were successful in our sets to a certain degree, but I was still not pleased with our execution. I still think we can run harder, set screens better, that type of thing. But we were good enough tonight to come away with a victory and get some buckets there with our execution in the half court.
Does it at least help the team from a morale standpoint that lead, that they didn't panic when that lead was blown?
Absolutely. Absolutely. It can get to you. It can get to your psyche. There's no question. So to be able to, bounce back after losing the lead, I believe twice, maybe 3 times, really helps. But again, this is survive right now, one and done. It doesn't make a difference how ugly this was. We move forward, and tomorrow morning at 11:30 a.m. we'll be watching film on Michigan and forgetting about this one. Thank you. Thank you guys all year. Appreciate it very much. Good to meet you.
Meet you,
Yeah.
Coach. Congratulations on the win, Coach.
Thanks, buddy. Good to see you again.